tweet this out. Welcome to another broadcast. We are 2 days away from fight night. Ronda Rousey. It's been over a year. This is the new picture. New picture of her. She has not done any media, no press. But she will be fighting George Michael tomorrow night. No, it's Friday night, and she's looking in shape. She's looking motivated. In the latest embedded from UFC, she seemed in good spirits. She was laughing, and she's scowling and sort of upset, and has felt the weight of the world and the pressure of stardom and the hatred and the glee that people have taken in her loss to Holly Holm. Has been something that she has not dealt with well. I'm going to bring on a couple of young men. Here, this guy. He's talking shit in the chat. He wants people. He wants an audience. What he doesn't realize is that you cannot play to the chat. You must play to the dude that will stumble across this tomorrow or the next day. Actually, this does have a short shelf life because a discussion about the event is a little bit pointless once the event is past. So, although I do want to make predictions today, so I want to go on record, and there's not that many fights to go over. We will go over each one in detail, and we're going to state who you think is going to win, and we're going to look at the betting lines. It's a tasty little card. I'm pretty much interested in every fight. Let me try. No, I'm interested in every fight, and I might be throwing some money on this, so we shall discuss. So if you guys want to call in, I could try to set this up right about now, and let's have a little discussion. In the meantime, I just got back from dinner, and it's freezing cold outside, like to the point where it's not snowing or anything, but you could see the frost. It's just ridiculous. And I don't even know where my gloves are, so my fingers are freezing. And I'm looking at this UFC footage from dudes training in California, and just sun everywhere. I'm so jealous. I don't know what I'm doing out here. I've been pussy whipped severely, and I need somebody to send the white helicopters. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh my God, look at them talking. Unprofessional.
What's up?
Meet your stream.
Hey guys,
Ref.
how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Try to share screen with you.
Is my audio good?
Well, sound great. How's it going?
Great.
I think we're all good.
Okay, well,
nice.
State your name. Who are we talking to?
Rafael, and Alex is the other gentleman.
My name's Alex. Nice to meet you all.
And last time we met, we were in Chelsea, New York,
New
right
York.
by Madison Square Garden, where we were drinking and watching Conor McGregor. And now we got Ronda Rousey, the second biggest star in MMA. How's
Well, Alex?
What's that?
Alex did not come for the fight. Alex.
No, I
Right.
did not.
That's true. But it was a good time. And let me ask a general question. What is your level of excitement on this card?
You go first, Raf.
It depends who's fighting. Like, I'm really excited for Cruz Garbrandt because I really want to see Cody get demolished. But I want to see Ronda come back, and I want to see her rise again to the star she was. And the undercard's pretty stacked. And Alex doesn't think so. Let's hear his thoughts on the whole card.
Well, I'm pretty excited for Cody and Cruz too. I feel like Cody, if he loses this, it's going to be horrible for his career.
Why?
Because he's just been talking so much shit
But
to this
isn't
guy. Like, it's just out of
every
control.
fighter.
It's not even good shit either. It's just embarrassing sometimes.
But every alpha fail guy does that. And it's one of those things where he's young. He's 25, so he could stay competitive. He could get a couple more wins and have another crack. But I hate Cody Garbrandt. I really can't stand the guy. I don't.
Yeah, he tries to be Conor way too much. I hate it. So forced.
He's an angry. I mean, look at who he is though. He comes from white trash, Ohio. His dad was a meth guy in jail, and look at him. I mean, problem. Look at the warning signs. Look at the tats. So he, angry little Napoleon complex midget, who is white trash, comes to California, has a girlfriend with fake tits. It's just got to show. I mean, he wants to fight, he wants to prove himself. He's just an angry little pit bull.
With daddy issues.
And he's not a bright guy, not an educated guy, not a guy.
Yeah.
So there's nothing compelling about him that you want to root for this guy. He's just a tool. Meanwhile, Dominic Cruz is more and more impressive every time he opens his mouth. I mean, he could full on quit fighting and have a long career as a commentator.
Super guy. He breaks down people with his words. He broke down TJ with his words in trash talk in the beginning.
Yeah, it's interesting that TJ's on this card because there's all the alpha fail guys are going to be there, and TJ and his coach are. There's probably going to be some words exchanged, behind the scenes, but yeah,
kissing.
It's interesting because a lot of the times I'm going to be picking maybe for the guy that I don't want to win. So it's my heart versus what my head wants.
Exactly, same. I feel the same way.
Okay, yep. Well, let me start by saying, how's the Raph drama?
Yeah. Me? Oh, it's not as bad as you think. I think you come into the chat at the worst times when there's one person making a lot of noise.
You start shit with people randomly, right?
No, see, people start shit with me, and I just respond, and it seems like I am. And it's only one or two people usually. The majority of the chat is fine. I
understand hatred online. I mean, if you are online, you're supposed to have enemies. If you don't have enemies, that just means you're not speaking or you're not expressing yourself.
Or you're
just not loud enough or whatever. Man, I understand some people, they try to get through life as if they're Neo going through bullets or raindrops. They're just trying to avoid every possible confrontation. And there's a certain logic to that, but I just find it to be dumb. And it's interesting. I used to have a lot of haters. I don't think I have as much as I used to. I think, like, even the Trump people, they have all sort of come back and they're like, whatever. I'm over it. I like this guy. And I feel like the same thing has happened with Conor McGregor in the sense that he used to have a lot of haters where people were just like, fuck this guy. He thinks he's the king. He's talking a bunch of trash. I hope he loses. He's not good. Wait till he fights a great guy. And now all those people are just like, wow, I got to give it up to this guy. He's kind of amazing. With Ronda, she has a bunch of haters. But like you said, I think she might have turned the corner. I think if she wins, I think people are going to feel like it's a heartwarming story.
It's going to be an incredible story. I mean, it's going to be the ending of a movie.
Even though
comes back
she's been doing a lot of things outside the octagon that it's not good for the karma. Her boyfriend, the shutting out of the media, taking the year off, being a do-nothing bitch. She really has not handled this loss well. So the signs don't look good for her right now. But having said that, everything can change. One armbar, one punch, one grappling situation. The whole thing's a new story.
Also, the weight of the stage can make Nunes just crumble.
Top 5 people on this card you would have sex with in order from first to fifth. Go.
Ronda first, Nunes second.
Now it gets tricky.
I would say, definitely. All right, so let's start.
I might go Dong Young Kim because Asian men are kind of like Asian women. It doesn't really count as a real man, so that's barely gay. That's barely gay.
Cody. Because that guy.
This guy's not bad.
Right.
You want to?
No, not Hendricks or Magny.
No chocolate.
Whoa, not Garcia. Way too big.
Yeah, it's actually. God, Garcia's such a monster, man. How about a Hawaiian?
Hector
Lombard. I might go
too.
Hawaiian after because part Asian and he's a Hawaiian. Yeah, Hawaiian. He's practically a ladyboy as is. Yeah.
Garbrandt has is well put together.
The guy you hate, you're gonna have sex with him.
Hate fuck Garbrandt.
I know, but even though he's really really short, he's young. He's well put.
Yeah, he's younger. I mean, these two guys are pretty young. This is like 23 and 25. This is 25, 31.
31?
Piles is 41, so I'm rooting from the older statesman here. He's a good fighter, though, but I don't know why he's still fighting, to be honest.
Yeah, he's long career.
Can't be
I think I might, for my fifth, I might do Bruce Buffer.
Thatcher?
Mix it up. Okay. Okay, now we have the important stuff out of the way. Let's dive in to the first fight, and I'm just going to put my cards on the table, and we'll go around the panel here. But I'll just introduce it first. We got Tim Means, who is the Dirty Bird. I think he's coming off of a suspension, USADA, 26-7. He is a very crafty fighter. He fights with all of his weapons: knees, kicks, elbows, punches. He's tall. He doesn't look tough. Like, you look at this doesn't look like a guy that's a badass, but he clearly is. He's taking on Oliveira, the cowboy from Brazil, like a legit cowboy. He lives on a farm. And he's got a good record. He lost his last fight, I believe. He lost to Cerrone.
No, I think
Okay, he's coming off a
he-
win after the
yeah.
Cerrone. I feel like there was another.
Yeah, he went 2 after that.
Yeah,
Okay,
2 wins.
were they impressive?
Knockout, his last one.
Really? First
Yeah.
two.
I feel like Oliveira has this one.
Okay, why does it say 15-4 here and then 15-3 on the other one? Okay, so only a loss to Don Cerrone is not bad. Okay, he decisioned Montasari. Muntasri. There you go. Montasari. Okay, Will Brooks. Oh, he beat Will Brooks. Wow.
And Will Brooks is a good fighter.
Right,
and he
Will
knocked
Brooks is
him.
a champion. And
Yeah.
that is... Well, he didn't make weight, though. That was the bullshit. Yeah, he was, like, way overweight. You guys remember that?
That means he drained his
So-
body. I mean, still not much match.
But he was significantly bigger than Will Brooks, and he took Will Brooks down, and it was the top game ground and pound that put him out. So it was kind of bullshit. Like, he lost. He didn't get
Yeah.
all the money, but he's definitely a capable fighter. So let's go around. Raph, what are you thinking on this?
Tim Means is super experienced, but he is 42, and that
Tim
does
Means
play
not-
a part.
Not 42.
Maybe Rogan was exaggerating, but I heard him say something.
He's not even 30. Let me see this. Tim
He isn't?
Means? No way. He's
What? He
he's
said he was
32.
quite old.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So Rogan was
No,
exaggerating.
you're mixing
But,
up with maybe Pyle, but yeah, go ahead.
Maybe. And but Means is super
Mm.
crafty, and he also has great elbows in the clinch, and he's got that. Does he have really good reach?
Yeah,
No, he actually doesn't. But he fights
does.
long, and he
and he
knows
fights
how
good
to.
inside.
But Oliveira has great Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, classic Brazilian fighter, but I think Tim Means is gonna take this fight because he's so unusual and unorthodox, kind of like Tony Ferguson in that way, and you don't really know how to handle his strikes. And Oliveira's it's gonna be pretty close throughout most of the fight, but I think in the later rounds, like I think in second round, I think TKO by Tim Means.
Nice. Okay.
What do you think?
Okay,
Al?
Alex.
I was gonna say, yes, knocking Alex. I was gonna say if I think Oliveira can finish it in the first round, but if it gets past there, I think Tim Means has the advantage.
Why? You think there's a cardio situation?
But yeah, he has really good cardio.
He does. He is like a
And he will outlast him like
He's
a
like a-
motherfucker.
Cerrone mixed with. I mean, he's just got that tenacious sort of, almost like a Diaz brother, and he's
It's like Tony Ferguson. His style reminds me
he's
of.
long like that. He's got just good use of leverage inside, good dirty boxing. Well, he's the Dirty Bird, and he's violent. Like we're talking about fighting, so theoretically all these guys are violent, but this guy's violent among violent people. Like
Yeah.
he'll punch dirty punches to your face and body that they might not look the worst, but you could see it on the face of the other fighter. They're doing damage, and his knees are he's just lanky. He's just this he's a porcupine of violence. Just don't touch any of his limbs because they're coming for you. I am going to take Tim Means. I think this is a stiff test, and it's a good opening fight. I think that he's going to wear him down through attrition. I think late second, third round, Tim Means TKO.
Yeah.
Yep, really agree.
And also he's white, so I'm just auto going to select him just for
Yeah,
because of the racism. Okay, so now moving on, we have the quite meaty Brandon Thatch, who looks like he's going to gas out after this photo shoot. He's overly muscled. He comes from Colorado, which could be an advantage because of the cardio situation of training at high elevation. He has lost 3 fights in a row. So this is, if he loses this, he's
Yeah.
out of the UFC. He has not looked good. He lost to Gunnar Nelson. He got knocked out. I guess it was technically submitted, but he got punched and dropped. He's taking on a guy named Nico Price. I've heard a few things on him. Obviously, he's not that well known of a fighter, but he's 8-0, but his competition has been shite. Let's go to the young prodigal son, the 16-year-old Rafael, for his analysis of this fight.
Well, Price has a series of TKOs first round. It's like he's been pretty dominant, but as you said, against low competition. And Brandon Thatch is apparently super talented. Brendan Schaub speaks super highly of him.
Because he trains with him. It could be a homer pick.
It's true, and he looks a lot like him from Colorado. But apparently he's been training harder. Alex, is that you?
That's me.
No.
Crackling? Opening up some peanuts. I'm being entertained by you.
And Thatch apparently has been very dedicated for this fight, more than any other. And in the gym, he's a wizard, but he's just never been passionate or dedicated. And now he is, and I think he will. I think he's gonna knock Price out.
Okay. I thought they were peanuts. They're actually cashews, which is bullshit. I don't like cashews.
Cashews are whack.
No one does.
I take peanut over cashew, second round TKO. Alex, what is your thought on this guy taking on a black amorphous ghost?
Well, we don't know much about Price, but Thatch hasn't looked good at all in his fights. It's really hard to call since I don't really know the competition.
But do you think that because he's lost 3 in a row, his back is against the wall, he knows this is make or break?
Yep.
For some people that works. It might work for him, but I'm not really. Honestly,
what I'm thinking is that the reach might come into play, seeing that he has a 74-inch reach advantage.
And zero.
Yeah,
that's big.
when you're taking on a stump,
it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough to block the jab. I think the jab could come into play. We might have a worse tattoo competition here too, because I mean, what in the hell are people doing? Look at his leg. First of all, look at his right leg. Looks like some sort of a character from Lord of...
Oh my God, the left leg is so demon-like. Look at that.
That's
What is that?
His right. But yeah, Lord of the Rings sort of situation. The other one just looks like the tattoo artist spilled the ink. It's just, it could just be piss. He's pissing tar over there. So, and this manicured goatee beard thing, I almost prefer a jihadi beard to this. I mean, that is some douche factor. And Cody Garbrandt has it too. He really, God, he's just shaping that thing. And his eyebrows. Keep a lookout for Cody.
Cruz has got it going on where it's messy and he just doesn't care.
Yeah, and this is a new look for him. He'll probably shave that for fight day. We got a picture. Look at that.
He's got the porn stash in the man.
Hold on.
I don't know.
I gotta analyze this.
And also like the rooster in his
Yeah,
hair.
he looks like no tattoos. I like that. He's from the United States. I wonder what kind of a guy he is. Long hair, maybe like a musician, sort of athlete/stoner type. I'm not sure. Stoners don't have tattoos, do they? I mean, Joe Rogan does, but in general.
Yeah, most
really.
He seems very strong. He seems like he's very explosive, considering that all those first round TKOs. I think he's gonna try to explode on Thatch in the first round.
It's hard to bully a bully, and he might run into, if his technique and the style that he's been using has just been to overwhelm lesser athletes, that is a problem when you get to the UFC and you're like, oh, this guy's not a lesser athlete. My style is now a detriment to me, and it's not going to help me. I don't know about his ground game. It could come down to something like that, but this is probably the least interesting fight for me, but it's basically, does Brandon Thatch have enough to save his career, is the name of this one.
Yeah.
If he loses this, it's over for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
he'll on the road to this unknown.
And I'm pretty indifferent to them personally. I don't have any investment in these guys, so it's not interesting on that level. So it's just basically flesh, just fighting, and this is like a human cockfight for me. Next up, we go to Mike Pyle, who I've admired for a long time. His name is Quicksand, which means he gets you into trouble, and he's a highly skilled submission artist. Good striker. He's a veteran of the game, 27-12. Taking on a Cuban monster. Dominican. He's a Dominican nightmare. Alex Garcia. Not the best cardio. Obviously, he's a strong nightmare, and he's going to come after you early. And looks like the bottom of his feet are a different color than the rest of his body, so that's weird. Racial. He's 13-3. He has not been impressive in his last couple fights, but he has been winning. Let's take a look at it, actually. Raph, what are your thoughts on this match?
I think if the first round, Alex can knock him out and storm him, but if it gets into past the first round, I mean, Pyle has so much experience, and he's gonna trip him, take him down, and it's decision or sub.
We got Alex Garcia at minus 170. Okay, Alex, what are you thinking?
Garcia likes to take people down, but I don't see that working out for him if he tries to do that on Pyle.
Pyle's got.
So if he's going to try and stand up, I also don't think he's going to do very well. He's just kind of a decent at everything.
Right.
He's just an athlete. He's just a big dude.
I think game plan is going to be big here, don't you?
Yeah. It depends. If he tries to take him down, it's not going to end well for him. But that seems to be his only.
Mike Pyle's got omoplata. He's got kimura. He's got triangles. He's got good hip movement. He can get out from under you.
And he wins by submission too.
Yeah, he's good in the scramble. He's good at rolling. So I'm thinking the name is, can he avoid getting dropped and an early stoppage? And I think if he gets past the middle of the second round, the live betting is going to go heavily on Mike Pyle, because he is a veteran. He does know how to win rounds. He does know how to, this is his game. It's just also he's a deteriorated guy. He's an older guy, so you never know when he's going to just be a completely shot fighter. No tattoos though. Bonus. Oh, he's got a leg situation. Aside from that.
And his chin might go out. Fighters, when they get a lot older, their chin deteriorates.
But he knows that. So he's not going to sit in the pocket and get into a firefight with this guy. I'm assuming that's not his game plan.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I've not been impressed. He's lost 2 out of 3. So it could be bye-bye time for either of these guys.
Yep.
Okay. Next up, we have the Italian versus the Brazilian. Both big guys. They're cutting weight to get to 185. These are middleweights. And I've never been super impressed with this guy. I'm not sure about his recent performances. I think he lost his last fight, I want to say.
No, he won. He's been on a tear. He's a young... Yeah, he can be a rising star. A lot of people praise him. Verdum says he's going to be the next champion.
Okay, so in the UFC...
He says
he only had one fight in the UFC. Okay, and he got it in guillotine in the first round. Wow.
He's got like 4 guillotines.
Okay.
He's very athletic, and
23, wow.
Yeah, and he trains at King's, and everyone there says he's super high level, and he's gonna. Oh, and this guy trains at Top Team, so this guy, I didn't know that. Submission artist.
He's been a little bit sporadic of late. Didn't he win the Ultimate Fighter? Yeah.
The Brazil one, I think so.
They changed weight classes. He won at heavyweight. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't think he has the best chin. Anytime you have these muscle guys, it's not actually the best body type, but he is a ground specialist. But this young guy is no joke, and he's one of the best Italian fighters that we've seen in the UFC. I mean, there hasn't been many, but
yeah.
So I'm guessing the UFC would want him to be the face for Italian MMA, and this would be a big win, a showcase fight on a big card. Color.
And I've seen I saw a lot of this dude's highlights, and he's very aggressive, and he's very confident. He's a really strong.
He's given up a lot of inches.
That's true, but he's going to close, I think, on this guy, and I think it's going to be a close fight because the Brazilian's he knows his ground game, but I think decision Vettori's going to win.
Alex, what do you got?
I think Vettori's going to take this one too. I just think he's too much to handle on the ground. Yeah,
I'm interested to see his fighting spirit, because there's a certain je ne sais pas, a certain intangible factor that fighters possess. Like the Dirty Bird has it, El Kukui has it, where Max Holloway, where they have this tenacity, they have the spirit to want to fight and inflict violence. And I don't think this guy necessarily has that. I think he's good technically. I just don't think he does well with adversity in the cage. So we'll see what he's got. I mean, he's giving up experience. He's giving up a reach. But I think he's polished enough where it's not going to be stage fright. He's going to be there to stake a claim and make a name for himself. So we'll see.
Awesome. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think this guy's striking defense is good either. I feel like his head is just sort of up there, and he could be counter punched pretty easily.
Like classic Brazilian stand up, like
Yeah,
just no stand
he's
up,
a bit
just defense.
stiff. I feel he's got to
Yeah.
keep it flowy, as Connor would say.
Oh
Here we
wow.
go. It looks like we got Johnny Hendricks, number 6, versus number 8 Neil Magny, which is surprising that he's at 8 after the winning streak he went on. Johnny seems to be losing his hair and donating it to Neil Magny, and he is erecting some sort of a hair sculpture there.
Flat top. Yeah.
This is an interesting fight. Both guys that are highly established, got tons of wins under their belt, a lot of UFC experience, but both having shown, or coming off losses recently. Hendricks has lost a couple fights. Let me see here.
He got destroyed by Wonder Boy and lost to Kelvin.
But in devastating, soul-crushing fashion.
Oh
Both.
my God, Wonder Boy did his life.
I mean, at the end of these fights, he was going, I don't know if it's in me anymore. I might retire. The guy has like 5 kids. He has a steakhouse.
After the steakhouse, it just went
and he's
downhill.
got a belly during the, when he's not fighting, and I just feel like the stress of life.
He's not training.
Oh, the hunger's gone for sure. The hunger's gone. And Robbie Lawler took a few years off his life for sure.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Not sure. Matt Brown is kind of a joke, and to wrestle fuck Matt Brown is not exactly. He had a good. He did well there, but it wasn't impressive, and neither was this victory against Robbie Lawler. I mean, he basically stalled him out. And although Neil Magny is very chinny and gets rocked in almost every fight he's in, so let's go around the table. Raph, what do you think?
But I think Magny has incredible cardio, and based on Johnny's last fights of getting totally gassed against Kelvin, I think it could go a classic Hendricks knockout. But Hendricks has kind of lost the right hand he used to have, and I don't think it's going to come back this fight. Seeing what shape he's in, he doesn't look like he's in any better shape. Yeah, I mean he looks like chubby, and Magny's always comes in with great cardio. And he's more focused than Hendricks. As you said, Hendricks has almost no drive right now, and Magny is quite focused. But it's going to be a barn burner. I mean, these guys are going to go at it, but I think that Magny's going to pull through with a decision.
Okay. What do you got?
Yeah, I think Magny's just in so much better shape, and he has height and like an entire foot reach advantage against him.
Oh wow, I didn't see that. Yeah,
I don't see Johnny Hendricks taking this.
That is crazy. I did not realize he was that much taller. Are they counting the hair?
80-inch reach for a welter.
Yeah, look at how long those arms.
It's like John Jones.
He can touch his knees.
Here's my thing. Neil Magny, impressive guy, durable, strong, fights back after getting hurt. You can't take anything away from the success he's had. He's a skilled, all-around mixed martial artist. But Johnny, I think, might rally, and I think the fight might go as follows. Also, it depends on the weight cut, because Johnny has had a lot of problems with that, and so we're going to see how he looks tomorrow. But I can see Johnny going and getting a takedown, getting takedowns early, because Neil has decent takedown defense, but he can get taken down. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's got a good game off his back, and he's good at scrambling to get back up. But Johnny is, a real wrestler. He's gone back to a wrestling style. He's training with his old wrestling coaches and stuff. So I'm guessing they're going to want to solidify, get the win, essentially. So ground and pound, get the takedown, maybe a little striking at first. He might clip Neil. So here's my prediction. He will get a shot off on Neil that does damage, stumbles Neil. Neil will be kicking from the outside, punching, jabbing, trying to dance around, but the distance will be closed with like a hop step from Johnny Hendricks. He will drop him. He will swarm him. Neil, being the tough guy that he is, he will survive that. But the rest of the round will be Johnny on top, ground and pound, not really trying to pass or do too much, sitting in half guard, and then getting put back into full guard by Neil. Second round, it's going to be more of the same. Third round, Johnny will gas completely. Neil will rally and be stalking him and punching him and hurting him. And the fight will end. The decision will go to Johnny, but we will be left thinking Johnny is a spent fighter who really didn't deserve it, and that Neil would have won if it went 5 rounds.
Wow. Foresight.
Watch, it's going to be like nothing like that whatsoever. It's going to be flying knee knockout Neil Magny within the first 10 seconds.
Oh man, yeah, that really sounds like it could go that way. I mean, I think it's gonna go that way. I think Maggie's gonna get the decision though. I think he's
it could come down to like the second round, because Neil is a slow
Yeah.
starter always, and he's a strong finisher. He has the cardio. Does he train at altitude? I feel like he does.
I'm not
Okay.
sure where he trains.
But Johnny, you got to question his heart, but he is a champion, so also factor that in. He's not just some schmuck. So he has proven some stuff to us. Moving on, we go to the main card. We start with two of the lesser-known guys on the main card. This is the third guy I would have sex with on the card. No, fourth. It is Louis Smoka, and he is. I feel like he's Hawaii.
Dull ass.
Oh God, he's Hawaiian, right? He's a young
Young
guy.
He is.
He's 25. He's got a couple years on Ray Borg, who is very solid. Looks a lot thicker here. They're both 125, but we have a 5-inch reach advantage, so the body types are quite different. The Taz Mexican Devil. Okay. Ray Borg coming off a loss. I think I bet against him. Scoggins whooped him up pretty bad, but Scoggins is a very good fighter, and he's on the rise. What do you have on this one, Rafael?
I know Smoka has a lot of jiu-jitsu experience. I think he's like a brown belt, and he's tapped out some guys. But again, in the flyweight division, that it's hard to tap dudes out because everyone scrambles so well. And Borg has good power and can knock dudes out. And I think that Borg will. It'll be kind of a crazy first round with Borg swarming him, but Borg will. I think. I'm not sure. I think Borg will win by knockout. I think Borg will swarm him, and I think Smoka is very. He's long and he has a weird body type for the 25-pound division because no one's really like that. Everyone's kind of short and stumpy, and if you're a little bit on the tall side, you usually go to bantamweight. So he's not. He has that advantage of being long, but I don't think it's going to help against Ray. I think Ray is going to either shoot on him or overhand his way.
Okay.
Shoot.
Okay.
Shoot.
Alex, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking this is going to be a battle on the ground. Both of these guys don't seem to like to strike, but Ray Borg seems like a really competent submission artist to me. I don't think he's going to knock him out. I think he's going to submit him in round 2 or 3.
Okay. I see this one. I think you got to avoid Smoka on the ground. His scrambles, taking the back, his rear nakeds. He was very good, very crafty, very dangerous. Even though Ray Borg is good at wrestling, good on top, I think his coaches would be smart to stay striking and work with power shots, work to the body of Smoka. I could see Smoka trying to pull guard. I think at some point during this match, Smoka will be on his back, and Borg will be standing over him, kicking him. I see it. It's going to go that direction. I don't think Smoka wants to sit in the pocket with Borg. And I don't think Smoka is the type of fighter that uses his reach effectively. He's not some sort of a polished striker in that manner, and he doesn't have the same power. So I could see the more effective power shots being landed by Borg, and I could see him edging out a decision.
Oh, well, I could see that as well. I mean, I just have a feeling of a knockout.
No.
This is I don't know how this is the main card fight, and Hendricks Magny is below.
Well,
it doesn't make sense.
They're the main event of the prelims. They're trying to get you hyped to go to the main card, so they give you a little meat.
Yeah.
They have some weird techniques. I mean, this fight down here, the first fight of the night, is way better than this fight. I mean, those should be swapped for sure. Okay.
Yep.
Now, the third person I'd have sex with on this card. Now, we have an interesting thing here. Let me just start by saying it's number 9 versus number 12. We're talking 170. We're talking about the stun gun, who is a nice guy, a family man. We're talking South Korea. Now, usually Asian fighters lose. Now, that's awkward because that's a racial statement. But if you look at the stats, and I don't think anybody's ever compiled them, when you have an Asian versus a non-Asian, the non-Asian is going to win. Now, if you bet that, you'd be a rich man. From the start of the UFC
Oh,
to
yeah.
now, just regardless of the odds, if you bet that, you'd be up so much money. It's like ridiculous. Because it's almost a compliment to the Asian though, because they don't have that animalistic ferocity that is necessary. They're too nice and kind and gentle. Now there are some exceptions, but the stun gun is highly skilled. He is almost Damian Maya-esque with his control, with his taking of the back. He's got very deadly grappling, but he also has power, and he might be relying too much on his power. He's got spinning elbows, one of the most devastating knockouts a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's got flying knees. He's got power, just straight up right hand knockout power. So I like him. I like the guy. He's a big guy. He cuts weight, and he's quite athletic in that process because he'll get into that cage and he'll look bigger as a man. Now, Belgium, we're talking about a guy who speaks French, so, that's not very impressive. This guy's very technical. Tariq Safadine, he's fought for Strikeforce. He's been around for a while. He's had some injuries lately, and he's been not that frequent. His fights have been, sparse. But what was his last fight? I think he lost to a guy. Who did he lose to recently? Do you guys know?
Rick Story.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm
He
not
got
familiar.
over by Rick Story.
See him often.
Let me see that. Tariq, but Tarek. But he's got great kicks. Yeah, he's been win one, lose one. But, I mean, he lost to two really good guys. So he's got good kicks and strikes. I'm not sure if he can deal with the smothering style. It depends on the game plan that Dong comes with. So,
I mean, if he takes him to the ground enough, it's over. That is not his Tarek's strong suit.
right.
He's just completely out
I
of
think
his
he can
world.
get the clinch and
But
drag him down.
I don't see any reason for Dong Young Kim to keep him standing.
Right.
Yeah, well, him has really good striking. People don't know. I mean, he's also a judo black belt, but he
You cut out on us. I'll venture forward. His striking has been impressive. I don't know where he is at mentally right now in terms of his training and motivation. So we're going to see what version of the Donger we get. But I mean, he's 21-3. This guy's no joke. So he can do well. These are 3-round fights, so cardio doesn't really come into play. And I don't know if Tarek has the finishing power. Like, he's good at point fighting. Basically, he can.
Yeah, I don't think he's finished the
Yeah,
fight.
he can do damage over time, but I don't know if he's going to have the time, and I don't know if he's going to be capable of getting out of the clinch from Dong. Because once he takes your back, you're going to be fighting for wrist control. Next thing you know, he's just like a spider monkey. He's up on your back, and now you're in a world of pain, and you're losing the round for sure. So, and look at that. He's got a reach advantage on top of it. So,
Yeah.
Is Rafael still here or gone?
I don't think I'll try to add him back.
Let me pop into the chat and say hello. Deke is being discussed. Deke versus Dong.
Deke by neck stretch.
Sorry
worries.
for cutting out.
Okay,
Sorry.
we are moving on to. Oh yeah, your thoughts on the who do you got? Who are you picking?
I think Dong Young Kim is gonna. I think he's gonna be a flashy finish. I think he's gonna either knock him out or sub him, and it's gonna be a good fight for him. He's gonna come back from this because he's been out for a while. Was he in the Korean military? Because a lot of fighters from Korea have that problem where they go back.
I think he's past that stage, but yeah.
What
do you think if they put dick length on here in inches?
Well, I think Tarek has the huge advantage in that area.
I wonder if they had limp dick size versus erect, like so you could separate the growers from the showers. I'm not sure that would factor in, but just try to get the female audience in there. That'd be awesome if they had like just tit size on Ronda Rousey and throw it in there. Okay,
Misha.
We got our top 3 fights here. We are looking at Mohawk hairstyle from John Lineker. Now, when you take on a guy whose name is Hands of Stone, what you must concern yourself with are his hands of stone. He's named that for a reason. He has huge power. not the best technique, but he doesn't need it. He's like a caveman. He will walk forward, stand right in front of you, and swing bombs. He has a chin of stone, though, more importantly, and that is part of his success. I mean, this guy will take 10 of your shots to deliver 2 of his, and you're not surviving 2 of his shots. He's got some good kicks. He's got good wrestling, tough to take down. TJ is going to be, well, here, I'll just set it up. TJ is, the number one guy, former champ, used to be Team Alpha Fail. He trains at altitude. He is 14-3. He had a close fight with Dominic Cruz. He beat Rafael Sunsal's last fight, and he's looking to get another title shot. So he's kind of a pussy. I don't like him. He's kind of a mousy little scrub. So I personally don't like him. I don't really know this guy because he speaks a little English, right? But he's not. I mean, he's got a serious mug on his face, doesn't he? But it's going to be a good fight. And we're talking about the 1 and 2 guys, and they're here for a reason. This is a title eliminator here. So let's send it on over to the 16-year-old man-child, Rafael.
So it's weird that that this is even a fight. I mean, TJ should have the shot against Cruz. TJ, barely lost against Cruz, and he has amazing footwork. I mean, I don't like him as a person just because of the snake stuff, but he's has incredible footwork and can dance around Lineker. But Lineker, apparently, according to Rogan and some people, has amazing power, and if he connects early, TJ could get rocked. But TJ has a pretty good chin, and really hasn't been knocked down that often. And I think TJ is determined with training with Dwayne, and I can see TJ, similar to the Sun-South fight, but even more determined and even more focused, and maybe knocking him out in the later rounds, like 3 or 2, I think.
Wow. Okay. Bold.
What do you think, Alex?
I think I'm with you on this one. TJ is looking to become an all-time great, and I don't think John Lineker could stop him.
Yeah. John Lineker is such an odd name for a Brazilian. I don't know how.
I think everybody's looking to be an all-time great. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in their face.
Well, yeah, if he could get another title shot and very likely win. But I don't put John Lineker in the same boat as him.
Yeah, nowhere near, in my opinion.
Wow. I think he's definitely got a big chance to win this fight. I don't like TJ. I want to see him punch in his face. He was knocked out by John Dodson, and John Lineker punches harder than John Dodson. He's got way more knockouts. And John Dodson...
That was before Dwayne, though, correct?
Yeah, that was before Dwayne. But, Dwayne, that could come back to haunt him. TJ is a good wrestler, and he's quick and stuff, but he now thinks he's some sort of striking superstar. And you saw Dominic Cruz embarrassed him. He missed... I think he set a record for missed punches in that fight.
Yeah, he did.
It was horrible. And he's a poor man's Dominic Cruz. He ripped off Dominic Cruz's style, and he tries to run around and do the Muhammad Ali shuffle, and he's just doing an imitation of Dominic Cruz, just not as good. Yeah. He doesn't have the power of John Lineker. He doesn't have the chin of John Lineker, and his only chance. And here's what's going to happen in this fight: he's going to be the quicker guy, so he's going to be remarkably quicker than Lineker. Lineker's going to look flat-footed. He's going to look lethargic. He's going to be walking him down like a zombie and wanting to sit in the pocket. But TJ's not going to do that. He's smart enough. He's got a game plan where he's going to pop him and get out. 1-2, out. He's going to circle. He's going to pivot. He's going to work the kicks. He might get a few takedowns to establish rounds and make sure he wins them. Now, he's not going to gas either. TJ doesn't gas. So he has that going for him. But I think that Lineker's going to connect to the body. I think he's going to connect to the head. I think he's going to get some counter shots in, basically. If TJ tries to get cute and doesn't respect this guy's power, because he's never fought a guy with this guy's power. And Lineker is going to lose the first 2 rounds, but then third round he's going to be walking him down. The crowd's going to be booing. They're going to think that TJ's stalling and not fighting, and he's going to come hunting for him. I don't think he can get the knockout, because every time recently John Lineker has encouraged his opponent to stand and trade, and they have been dumb enough to do it. It happened with McDonald's. It happened with Rivera, and TJ cannot be that stupid. If he is that stupid, then he deserves to lose. But I think he's going to outpoint him, but it's going to be a situation where Lineker is going to he's going to like shrug his shoulders at the end, roll his eyes, and the crowd's going to be like, dude, Lineker, we know you're the tougher guy.
I think TJ. I really disagree. I think TJ is going to win this fight handily. I think he's a really good striker, and he's
you
very
think he's
focused.
When you say handily, you mean win the rounds or actually hurt this guy?
I think he's going to win the rounds. I think he's going to dance around and keep tagging him. And I think I really think TJ is out of his league.
No, I think that John Lineker at some point in the fight is going to talk shit. He's going to be like, "Come on, fight, dude! Come here. And TJ's going to in that moment, if he gets suckered into that could be a difference maker. But we'll see if he sticks to the game plan or not, and we'll see if one of these shots, if he can actually cut off the cage and trap this guy from dancing around and actually just crack him in his stupid blonde head. So yeah, and end result, fuck TJ, fuck Alpha Fail, and let's go John Lineker. But I still pick him to lose a decision. Moving on to the co-main event, we have the champion of the world, Dominic Cruz, the Dominator. He is the defeater of all things Alpha Fail. Alpha Fail is Alpha Male, which is the gym from Sacramento, which is the gym that Cody Garbrandt comes from. He is no love. He is white trash. He does have daddy issues. His girlfriend does have fake tits. He does have a series of horrific tattoos. I only wonder what tattoos he has under this part. Imagine that. You know,
can't be great down there.
You know he's got some tramp stamps going on. Reach advantage for Dominic Cruz. Speed advantage for Cruz. Good wrestling from Cody. He usually has a reverse thing. He's a sprawl and brawl type of a guy. Dominic is very good at takedowns, though, and he's taken down competent, really good wrestlers. So I think that might factor in. They hate each other. A lot of trash talk. A lot of bad blood here. Cody thinks this is his destiny to win. He wants to validate his fight camp, his whole life. This is his big moment. What do you guys make of it?
I think we both agree on this one. Is Raph still here? I guess I'll go. I don't see anything that Cody could do to take down Dominic Cruz. Just the way Cruz moves is out of this world.
But he has been studying it. I mean, what game plan do you think Cody is? It just try to crack him in his head? It's like,
yeah, Cody has to hit one punch on him. Cody has that power. That's about his only strength. If he hits him with the right punch, he could knock him out. But I don't see that happening. Cruz is just way too fast, and he knows that's exactly what Cody's going to try and do. So he's just going to be running around him in the cage.
I mean, Dominic's defense is so good. He's so hard to hit clean, and he's so smart. His fight IQ is smart in the build-up, in the training, in the game planning, but also mid-fight, during the fight. He reacts. He knows what the other man is trying to do. And even when he does get hit, he knows how to roll with punches. Now, everything could change on a single punch, and Cody has the power and that sort of white trash rage. So he has that first round sort of, if he does get compromised, if he does get hit up and, a little worked a bit, like outclassed, and he takes to the second round, third round, fourth round, it could get very interesting, and it could be a total whitewashing. Dominic Cruz, if he can survive the power and sort of negates that power, I don't know what Cody's going to do to change his plan. Like, how are you supposed to get this guy that nobody else has gotten to?
Exactly.
Yeah, Cody's not. It's going to be very tough for him to hit him in the later rounds. I mean, Cruz is so elusive and so agile.
Also, the thing is, if you are taking on a guy who's dancing around and you can't get him and you're just getting frustrated, what you're going to do is come forward with more aggression, and that's when he goes for the double leg. And he has this style where Dominic will slip in and just chain wrestle you and drag you to the ground, and he did it to everybody. He did it to freaking Mighty Mouse, so like multiple times. So I think that could be his secret ace up his sleeve, is to take Cody down and to ground and pound him, get in his face, bloody him up, be like, now what, because he wants to.
He's also so experienced. I mean, Dominic was out for so long, and all that time he was studying, he was learning, and he has probably more fight IQ than anyone in the UFC.
Yes, he's balanced. He's in a zen state. He knows the stakes. He's not scared of this kid. He knows that it's important. So I feel like he's in a good place career-wise, health-wise. He can't get too invested. I don't think he's going to try to like sit there and trade with him. I think what happens in the first round is going to be pivotal to this fight. Because Cody is not tested beyond that, really. Now, this is a good sign. It means that what he does offensively works, and he knocks people out, knocks good people out. But he has been knocked out himself. And the challenges of going into championship rounds, or even the second and third, that's a unique challenge that we're not sure if he can take adversity or if he can come back from where things don't go his way. What if a guy...
Well, yeah? Cody has never fought anyone really high level.
Oh, he took on that prospect, that Mexican.
Oh, wow.
The Brazilian.
Yeah, Thomas Almeida, but that's it. I mean, so and he hasn't fought anyone inside the top
Takeo
5.
Was a good win, wasn't it?
Yeah, but he's also he's aging.
Yeah, he's Asian too.
True, but Dominic is so top of the food chain, and his wrestling, even though Cody did wrestle in college, Dominic takes down everyone, and he's gonna put him on his back. I think in the later rounds, and Cody can't stop it. If Dominic gets past the first round, I think it's over. There's no way Cody can win. It's impossible.
I think that Dominic should take a page out of Conor's game, which is, all the guys that fight Conor, they have power shots. They got right hands. Mendez has a right hand. Aldo, what's his name? Eddie Alvarez. And what you have to do is counter off it. So, avoid Cody's first punch, avoid that right hand, and then just go buck wild on him. So punish him every time he throws that thing. Slip and rip, basically, is what he's got to do.
Cruz has those overhands. He throws those sweeping punches left and right.
And he's got some nasty little uppercuts, and his kicking game is tight, and he mixes it up. So he's not predictable, and he's got multiple different patterns of movement that he likes to utilize. He switches stances. So I don't know if it's going to confuse Cody. Cody's just he's almost like a Hulk. He's like an incredible white trash Hulk, where he's just like me.
But he tries to be that guy. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he is that super tough guy. I think he's more insecure and wants to show how tough he is. He's kind of got like the small man complex.
He's like me, Cody. Me punch you in face. I think exactly. A timely takedown in the first round, followed by ground and pound, is going to soften this kid up, and we'll see how he is when they get back to their feet, and we'll see if he can put some damage on Dominic, and if Dominic has faced situations. Uriah put him down a couple times, and he survived and stuck with the game plan and beat him handily. So I'm rooting for Dominic. I hate Cody, so there's also that. I'm a little bit biased here.
I think Dominic, the decisionator, Cruz will take this by decision.
Okay, I like it. I'm very much into that, and that brings us to the main event. We have Ronda Rousey, otherwise known as Honda Housey in Brazil. She is 12-1. Notably, the one loss came a year ago in Melbourne, Australia, in front of 70,000 people. She went into a suicidal depression after that, and she went into a shell. She had sex with a heavyweight Hawaiian man. She is not mentally the most thick-skinned person. I mean, it's tough. It is tough because she was always emotionally fragile, and then you put her on an international stage, and she takes a lot of heat, a lot of hate, social media. It's all a bit overwhelming for any human being, let alone somebody who's psychologically scarred and has vulnerabilities like she does. She is a sweet woman at her core. She has a tough exterior that is sort of manifested out of necessity. Her father killed himself, I believe, correct? She's had some issues with the way she looked, with her achievement, with her self-worth. So she is a flawed and yet lovable character in that way. That some of her characteristics that hold her back in life are the same characteristics that lead her to being this force in the cage. So it's part of what fuels her, and yet it's part of her Achilles heel. That's what makes her intriguing. She's a superstar. She's a crossover star. She appeals to all sorts of markets. She goes on Ellen DeGeneres. She goes on all the late night shows. She does movies. She's taking on a lesbian. Known as the Lioness, Amanda Nunes has been on the rise. She has a couple losses in the UFC, but she's won very impressively over some top chicks. She is a great striker, a ferocious striker, but she is also a Brazilian jiu-jitsu expert, and she's good at rear naked chokes. And top game, she'll get on top of you, mount you, and just ground and pound you, elbow you. And so her first round, her cardio has always been her weakness. This is a 5-round fight. Most of Ronda's fights don't go into the second round, and so it could be a lot of fireworks in that first round. Rafael, what do you think about Amanda Nunes versus Ronda Rousey?
I think this fight really depends on how Ronda has been preparing and how much importance she sees in this, because I think she's kind of lost sight in that she thinks she's the star outside of fighting, right? Like, even if she loses, she's still this giant star. But what made her a star was how dominant she was. And when she loses that dominance, all this will kind of go away.
Wow.
And she has to realize that. And
look at the odds, minus 140 only. That's crazy for a Ronda Rousey match.
I know. I think people are forgetting how dominant she really was. But if she has been training, like her back is up against the wall, I think she can. I mean, the only way I see her winning is first or second round armbar. If it gets into the later rounds, I think she'll get. She gets very impatient very quickly. She'll storm.
If it gets later rounds, Amanda Nunes has never fought 4th round, 5th round.
Oh, yeah, you're right. She gets first round stoppages, but the thing is, Amanda has lost to a lot of people. She lost to Kat Zingano. She got destroyed by Kat Zingano.
After destroying her in the first round. Yeah, but Amanda in the 3rd round, she's totally gassed. Because she doesn't have control over her energy expenditure. She blows it in the first round. So she's like, it's, you have this fight or flight thing. She fights so much in that first round, she has no more energy for flight or fight after that. She blows her load. Now,
so this is going to be a really chaotic first round.
I mean, it depends on the intelligence. What Ronda has a hairy, disgusting Armenian coach who is a washed-up boxer who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. So he is an idiot. Last fight that he was in the cage, he got kicked by Fabricio Verdum, the opposing guy's fighter.
It was nasty.
So Ronda's boyfriend goes out there, gets his ass kicked, and then he's barking at Fabricio, and he just gives him a front kick, like this is Sparta kick. So that dipshit might tell her, Ronda, I'm a great striking coach, which means you're a great striker, which means go strike Amanda Nunes, which would be the stupidest plan ever.
Oh, God, that would suck if she did that.
Oh. Alex, spit some wisdom at us.
I'm with Raph. I think it depends on how Ronda has been training in this, because she said she didn't want any media attention or any interviews or anything. Whether that's she doesn't want it and she wants to focus on training, or she just can't handle it, is still up in the air. But I feel like if she comes out strong in the first round, she can easily submit Nunes.
Do you think that this bruise is going to factor into the fight? Do you think that Amanda will target it?
Which bruise?
I haven't seen these tattoos either. What is that on her
she's
feet?
Got some Olympic stuff, and this is probably some inspirational quote.
The anklet tattoo.
Oh, I don't know about this ankle.
Yeah.
Look
Ooh.
that.
Yeah, I don't think it's like an
that.
injury.
That doesn't even look natural. That should be a Photoshop fault or a bunion.
Amanda's training with Joanna, and her wife is a fighter. So she's surrounded by just training. She's at American Top Team 24/7. And Ronda has the Armenian coach who she hits pads with.
Well, she also has some training partners, but she keeps it all a bit under wraps. But yeah, maybe there's a point to be said. We don't know her mental state. We don't know if she's doing the right things behind the scenes. So there's a lot of question marks. But she has the trump card, which is her jiu-jitsu ability is such a superior skill set that, and it's not just the jiu-jitsu. It's jiu-jitsu mixed with, very importantly, judo. Ronda Rousey is not a wrestler. She's not doing double leg takedowns. She doesn't do any of that.
Olympian.
She's judo. Mm-hmm. So whatever game plan her opponent has, unless you knock her out with a single shot, walk off Mark Hunt style, she can get the clinch. And when you get the clinch, what it means, importantly, is her hips are close to your hips. And when that's the case, you're going flying. So she will spin you. She'll wait for you to push your weight one way or the other. She will do all of her judo tricks to trip you, to sweep you, to chuck you. or suplex you, whatever. You're going to the ground. Once on the ground, now forget striking, forget all that game plan, distance, kicking, all that. Now it's just a jiu-jitsu match. Now, who do you think is winning a jiu-jitsu match between these two? And granted, the Lioness is good jiu-jitsu, but there are different levels. There are degrees of black belts. And Ronda Rousey has skills, and she can get to that spider web, and she can get those legs over your face and snap her arm. That is
Once she gets the spider web, it's over.
right. And so she can get to that spider web if she's on her back, almost under any circumstance. She's very flexible with that, and that is her danger. Now, Amanda Nunes would be smart to avoid that at all costs, and that means avoid the clinch, avoid everything. But Ronda can use her striking to get in. Maybe she'll absorb a couple blows, get that clinch, and take her down. Now, she could not take Holly Holm down. She tried. She
would try to charge in, and Holly would just counter her and just knock her in the face.
She hopefully has learned some lessons from that. So there's better ways to close the distance. But it's all about going to the ground. If she is cocky enough and dumb enough to make the same mistake she made in the Holly Holm fight and take on a woman who is, forget who's superior as a striker. There's no reason to box with Amanda Nunes. That's the one thing that you should not. If you're going to lose to this woman, do not lose that way. Like, at least try to take this into your strong suit. So I'm actually rooting. Amanda Nunes is a nice woman. She has a cute girlfriend. They're very sweet together. She's also, this is also important, not as hungry as she once was. And this is human nature. She is the champion. We've seen footage in the Embedded series where she is on top of a car, driving through Salvador or Rio or wherever she was. She's the champ and everybody's praising her, and she's already had her victory lap. Now, it's easier to win the championship than to keep the championship. We know this. I mean, look at this belt. That belt has traded hands 3 times in the last 3 fights. So Ronda has a lot of reason to win this. Her ego, her pride, her legacy, money, her own emotional well-being. This is a much better style matchup for her than Holly Holm. So this is a good fight for her. It is winnable. To see her at minus 140 is crazy. If you looked at the betting odds for her the last 10 fights,
it's ridiculous.
You're not making money off her. So if you ever wanted to throw some support behind Ronda and cash in, this would be the fight. But it is those intangibles. It is the mental side. It is that game plan. And if she loses, and if she comes out and has a stupid game plan against this woman, that Armenian dude should be flushed down a toilet. Fuck that guy.
Well, if she loses, her star power is really gone.
Well, I mean, it's doubtful she would fight again, which is pathetic and stupid. Also just stupid. I mean, if she loses this fight, she'll take 4 or 5 months off, and then somebody might get in her ear and say, Ronda, you're guaranteed $10 million if you fight again. We could spend that money. You could give it to a charity. Like, get over yourself. Fight. You see what I'm saying? There's no excuse to not fight.
But unless she gets exposed, like what if just the same Holly Holm fight happens here, and that whole star power and Mike Tyson-esque
it doesn't
scare
it doesn't
goes.
matter. She's not going to be the same person. She's not going to have that same aura, but people will still want to watch her. And the fact that she is a compelling figure and is internationally famous, that is in and of itself it has value, and you can't trade that in for anything. So, like, most people don't know Amanda Nunes, they don't care, couldn't care less. So there's going to be a lot of 12-year-old girls watching this, going, "Come on, Ronda, you're on the cover of Wheaties," and let's do it.
But also Nunes, people don't realize Nunes, her first martial art actually was judo. I think she's a brown belt in judo, so she understands the basics of clinch work and throws. I mean, she's obviously not a bronze medalist in the Olympics, but she understands the basics, and all the girls that Ronda has faced have no understanding of it. It's totally foreign to them.
Mm-hmm.
So Ann Nunes is a black belt on the ground, and that's no joke. Obviously, she's nowhere near Ronda, but she knows she's very comfortable there. And the whole point, Amanda needs to keep it on the feet, and if she does, this is just ground versus feet. If Amanda keeps it on the feet, Amanda wins. If Ronda takes her to the ground, Ronda wins, and that's really it. This will be a first or second round finish, either submission for Ronda or knockout for Nunes.
Yeah, it would be interesting if Ronda has a conservative game plan, because she usually comes out gangbusters and has an attitude like, I can't even believe I'm in the cage right now. Like, you don't even deserve to be fighting me. Fuck you. Like, she'll just come over. She comes over and tries to big brother these girls. or big sister them and beat them up like there's some freshman in the bathroom who just cheated on your boyfriend or something. And she's basically trying to take your head and dunk it in the toilet. But if she plays conservative, lays back, keeps distance, mixes in the level changes, I don't know. She usually just has one setting though, and it's go go go. And I almost wanted to go to the second round just to hear the stupid ass corner advice from the Armenian. I mean,
the greatest, Ronda.
Yeah,
Storm
Ronda
her.
could go out there, snap her own leg in half, like be bleeding from 10 places, and the guy would be like, "Great job, Ronda. You're the champ. Looking great." Nothing to see.
God, he's the
I hate
worst.
him. Yeah.
Oh, and Travis is just as bad. Oh.
Yeah, I am excited for this though, and it's a spectacle. Seeing her come out with her mean mug face and her entry song, and the stare downs are going to be incredible. And the fact that she's not doing any media coverage almost makes the fight have to encompass all of that. It's just going to be something to watch. Like I'm not going to be able to look away.
Yeah, same. And this is, this is my opinion, make or break. I think if she loses, this is going to be just a giant hit for her, and she's going to give up, and she's just going to go into something else in life. But if she wins, if she does win, the Holly Holm fight, people will forget about that. It'll be like nothing happened, and she'll be the star that she used to be.
Yeah, and she could also take on that fight, and get a rematch against her down the road. Because there's not that many girls at the top end here, and Holly's still up there. Well, actually, she's moving up a weight class, so that could be interesting. But I'm looking forward to it. And the UFC, the new ownership, they're looking at this fight thinking, please, Ronda, win. Please. Oh, God. They're just like, for the love of God, break this woman's arm.
Yeah. The countdown has literally none of
But what's
Amanda.
interesting is Amanda's good at jiu-jitsu, but a lot of the times we've seen her on the ground, she's already compromised her opponent. She did it with Sarah McMahon. She did it with Misha Tate. So it wasn't really a true assessment of the ground games. And she's always had top position. So let's see how she is off her back. Let's see, even if you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, how's your defense against an elite submission specialist? It's like you could be a black belt. You take on Husamar Palhares. If you have not been training against elite leg lockers, you're fucked. So
Exactly.
We're talking about two skilled people in the prime of their careers fighting each other on the biggest stage. It's a must-watch. I'm happy that women are in the UFC in general. And just for the storyline and the star power, I think it would be great to see Ronda win it. I think my guy who picks fights, he's actually picking against her, and he thinks Amanda's going to take it. Too many question marks, he thinks, on Ronda.
Is that Dan?
No, Luca Fury.
I think Ronda armbar first round.
Look at you.
What do you think, Alex? Do you agree?
Ronda's going to submit her in the first round.
Oh, look at this.
Ronda submission. Incredible.
I don't know how, but it'll be amazing. And Ronda will go on to stardom.
Yeah, the thing that worries me is her striking defense. Ronda, her head movement, she doesn't roll with...
She doesn't have...
Yeah, she doesn't roll with punches, so she gets hit square and clean, and they do damage. And if you're getting hit square and clean with this girl, it's not like a Misha Tate punch, which was, they're okay, but they're more like punches from a cheerleader. Like, she's not punching to kill you. This girl's punching to kill you. You can't really take more than a few of those. And, Holly Holm showed you what happens. They add up fast. So, guys, this has been fun. This is a good overview of the card. Of course, we got a couple days to kill now.
The sad thing is, I can't even watch. I'm going to be seeing Jim Jeffries live.
Oh, yeah? Comedy?
Yeah. My mom got me tickets for Christmas, so I'm going to... But I will catch Garbrandt and Rousey. I mean, Garbrandt, Cruz, and Rousey and Nunes. But besides
that... You
that...
said Garbrandt with 3 syllables?
Garbrandt.
Garbrandt.
Isn't that correct?
You said Garbrandt.
Oh, well, maybe that was just my computer.
Say it again.
I said it's usually Garbrandt.
Nice. There was in the embedded, they had a graphic on him, and it said Kobe Garbrandt. Somebody had
Oh, the embedded is so cringy with him getting suits, like he's trying to be Connor. Weird. I hate it.
Yeah, they look at him and they're thinking that's the formula. Just follow Connor's lead.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
remember,
not Connor.
he was
No
the
one
guy.
is.
He was
Just do
the
your own.
punk who got in the face of Connor. Connor was like,
He
he's like,
pushed.
what
No.
are you gonna
Oh,
do? You'll do
mistake.
nothing. And he's like, I'll do something. And he's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, and he tried to push Connor, and he fell backwards.
Yeah, such a little monster, little goblin.
Yep.
Okay, so who's the
All
last
right.
person you'd have sex with on this card?
Oh, I would say Johnny Hendricks.
Really, you're not into the country, the southern
The
drawl?
dad bod, the loser. Yeah.
I think you gotta go with Nico Price here.
You're not into the Nico action?
That mustache and man bun is
Oh.
a little
Yeah.
sketchy.
Yeah. Well, Garcia just out of pure scare of just rapage. I mean,
Garcia, you're afraid of Garcia. Yeah, I'm gonna.
that is a nightmare seeing him. I mean,
My least favorite. It's tricky. I'm gonna think on that one. I'm not sure. This is my most important decision of the whole night. So we will circle back if any of our predictions are accurate. We might pat ourselves on the back for that, or forget it and delete the video, set it to private, and pretend it never happened. Depending on.
well, last time we did a hangout, I got almost every
Did
prediction
you?
wrong. You got every single one right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I like that this guy wears green. I think that's a good karma.
And he had it last time
Yeah.
and he won, so I think he's gonna destroy.
Sweet. All right, guys. Well,
All right.
It's been fun. It's been real. And
Definitely.
Yeah.
chat, I hope you enjoyed. Not really sure if there's a chat. Have you guys been reading these people?
A little bit.
You know what? Because you put my name, people are just
Attacking you.
not gonna.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
You're our kryptonite.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Sorry.
We'll change your identity up, make you like a Jason Bourne.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah, you're just burning through this one name, and then we'll just start a new one.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night, and look forward to the fights.
All right, you too.
Yeah.